I just want to open your microphone to your reaction to what you heard the vice president say.
Well, Lawrence, I'm so glad to be here with you this evening. And you made allusion to the systems of power that are familiar in this country when you were talking about Clarence Thomas and his wife Jenny. And I wanted to think back even further to a very original American, Thomas Jefferson, who by the time that he was becoming an old man in 1820, he wrote about slavery, that we have a wolf by the ear, and we can neither hold him nor safely let him go. Justice is on one scale, and self-preservation is on the other. And Thomas Jefferson talked about his fear that he was going to die in the belief that the useless sacrifice of themselves by the generation of 1776 to acquire self-government and the happiness to their country is to be thrown away by the unwise and unworthy passions of their sons. And Lawrence, here we sit. The idea of America, the idea of freedom and of liberty is being thrown away by unwise ancestors who are deciding that they can't stand the story for what it's actually made of. They can't stand that we built this country on the backs of people who are stolen from their homes. They can't stand it, and so they don't want to tell it because they can't imagine how on earth they could stand to live in a place like this if they actually face the truth of it. And that's what's the wild truth of it to me as a Black American who does love this country, is that I sit here and I love it and I still stand on the promise of it, knowing what it actually was built upon, because my body is made of what it was built upon, which is chattel slavery and the intersection of right-minded people looking forward. And so I think about Kamala Harris standing in Ghana, where so many people departed to begin this American story of intersections and of trying to figure out hope on the other side of wild injustice and oppression. I watch her standing there and I think, I hope that we can figure out how to just hold the truth of it and to continue to tell the truth, even when it is hard to bear. Because, this idea of teaching, of banning teaching critical race theory, it's an idea of banning a piece of American history that the man who wrote the Declaration of Independence demanded that we bear witness to. So I don't even know what it means to claim an American identity if we can't connect with that ethos.
And the notion that we are somehow teaching American history in Florida, but we're just leaving out some pieces, is a lie. It means you're not teaching American history.
Well, right. Erasure is the most frightening thing there is right now, because we're trying to actually manifest, when we think about an American identity, and saying American is even a limited word when we think about there's Central America, there's South America. We have claimed this notion of American identity for the 50 United States, but that's a separate conversation. But what I will say is, this idea of American identity, it's only attached in the present to a commitment to a set of ideals. If you take my blood, I'm from England, I'm from Scotland, I'm from Germany, I'm from Cameroon, I'm from Nigeria, I'm from Ghana, 2%. I checked before I got on your call tonight. And I was thinking, there's not one piece of my blood, there's not one strand of my DNA that is from this land. And so we have to figure out how to connect. We have to figure out how to connect on ideals, not on blood. And we have to tell our stories to do that.